Hello, this is Patrick. Welcome to Chart Built Wealth, profitable investing with technical analysis. I hope you all had a great Memorial Day and had some relaxing time. Today was there was some good and some bad. The good was gold mining stocks, Marathon Oil, which I reiterated my buy on a few days ago, was up a lot, 3 or 4%. But I wanted to talk tonight about the U.S. Cannabis ETF, MSOS. I always want to follow through on these ideas and try to make the best of a situation which has been very volatile, to say the least. So let's get into it. This is a chart of MSOS. This is a weekly chart. It goes back 3 years. And what I want you to notice here is that, you know, this was the big downtrend that we saw, and I've done away with the trend lines. I've tried to clean up the chart a little bit, but it looks like this bottom situation is still intact. The question is in the form of an inverse head and shoulders, which is a common bottoming signal, but this is again a 2-year chart. So the size of the pattern is big, and that gets my attention because the bigger the patterns, usually the bigger the moves if they develop and transpire. And so we got a left shoulder, a head, a right shoulder, and here's your neckline. So we need to get above 10 to put this thing intact. And in the meantime, we're trying to struggle with all this volatility and trading back and forth, which is difficult to navigate. So if you remember, the initial symmetrical triangle over here gave us a $13 price projection, and we got to 11.36. But in between, we've had a lot of fits and starts. The alarming part of this today is that we've had a break of our bullish channel. Here's our support line on our channel. And the symmetrical triangle, which had a support line coming in at about 8.5 or so, has been broken. I've redrawn that as a possibility, but there's really not a lot of weight to put into that at this point. So this has put the whole thesis in general, has put the whole thesis in a bad situation. And so we want to look at it and try to manage this. And I wouldn't say get out of it. We want to manage the situation to be able to participate in whatever develops. And if that means the stock goes down and we're out of it, that's one of the situations. So let's take a look at this part. And here we are. Here's the big symmetrical triangle. Here was the big, here's where my initiation on the buy was. I reiterated the buy here, and you can see we had a big spike up, and I talked about selling into strength and selling into strength, selling on big up days, buying on big down days, and we got stopped out here back in late April. And so we had a very small loss, if any, really. And then we had a big 25% up day. We talked about here that, once this was breaking, it broke, it sat around for 2 or 3 days. And I said, I never sell all my position. I still had whatever that percentage was. And then when this spike up, I wanted to suggest that you sell into this kind of strength. Whenever you get something like this, it's a gift. And so you want to sell into strength, part of your position, and then you want to buy back when it dips. So I went to a buy rating again. We got another spike up, suggested the same thing, but today we got stopped out. So our stop was 825, closed at 799. We're stopped out with a loss, and that's that. So currently I'm neutral on the position, But if you didn't sell your whole position, which I didn't, um, I sold 25% of my position. Uh, and so what transpired here that I like is that this gap going all the way back to March has now been filled. And so that gives us some hope that maybe this is some sort of a low and that prices will go back and go higher. And I don't like selling into weakness after all of this downtrend, even though we're not really overbought yet on our daily chart. But let's take a look at the intraday chart, which is, probably this amount. And you can see that we're very oversold on a short-term basis. That doesn't mean it can't get more oversold, but the likelihood is that you get some sort of a bounce here. So if I see MSOS up 3 or 4% tomorrow, I'll be a seller. I'll be selling a good portion of what I have left in MSOS. And so I wanted to just pass that along for people that everybody's in a different position and has a different style. That's kind of what my suggestion is. But then on the negative side, so I don't, I'm not looking to reestablish a huge position at this point because our point and figure chart, one of the bullish factors we had going into this trade, it had a bullish price projection of 19. Well, it now has a bearish sell signal and a $6 price projection. So uh, you got to respect that. So in the strength tomorrow, if we get that, I'm a seller. And if we open down and close down tomorrow, I'm still a seller, probably not as aggressively, but I will be a seller. And so I wanted to pass that information on. And again, it goes back to this daily chart. Here's the kind of last hope is that, this gap needed to be filled and now we go straight up and things are rosy and look great. Uh, I'm not managing it that way. And so if tomorrow we close lower and close below, I'm going to have to put my tail between my legs and go crawl over in the corner. I made money in the stock twice in this ETF, but I'm losing this time. But I don't want to uh, I don't want to ride this thing down to 6. I mean, that would be terrible. So uh, I'm going to try to manage this the best I can. If we close tomorrow lower, I'm a seller. I'll sell a big portion. I'll still keep some, but I'll sell. And if we open up tomorrow, I'll be a seller too, because I always sell into strength. And so that's the way that goes. I hope you found this somewhat helpful and uh, and and I hope it works for your investment style. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to Chart Built Wealth, profitable investing with technical analysis. Have a great evening.